Is there anyone in this room who does not know who Pitch Johnson is? Okay, I guess everybody knows. Anybody does not know Bill Draper? No, okay. So then there are no introductions needed. Um, you are legends, you are my personal heroes. You're just, oh my God, we're lucky to live at the same time with you guys. That's how I feel. All right, Pitch, you go.
Pitch Johnson, I met at Inland Steel. We both worked for the same steel company. And then we lived in East Chicago, Indiana. If you've never been there, don't fail to go visit because it's probably the ugliest city in the world. And we met there, so our friends, our wives, and we became very best friends because there was nobody else in the town to meet, and so that's how I got to know Pitch, and he and his wife became me and my wife best friends. Pitch has a way of charming without seeming that way, charming other people. He and I became best friends, and our wives became best friends. And I don't want to cry because I might get teary about him and his wife because we really became very best friends. So Pitch is a venture capitalist. He became that without much management. I'm sorry. I thought I was going to introduce him tomorrow, but it turns out it's today. So I hope I haven't said too much about Pitch because I'm not sure I've got notes about him. He's turned out to be my best friend. He had a lot of friends here in Palo Alto, and he introduced them. Never mind. He became best friends. We became best friends, and it was a lot of his friends that I met through him. Out here, I was in Chicago and didn't know I was coming. I came out because my father started a venture capital company, and so that's what I ended up my life doing. And who do I need to help me manage a venture capital company, which I didn't know that much about either? And so Pitch and I learned together, and so all of his friends out here became my friends, and we started, what was it called? Draper and Johnson. A good name. It turned out to be a very successful company that we just made a lot of money, didn't do much work. And it was a lot of fun to work together. So it was lucky that he knew a lot of people around here because I really didn't. And so he introduced me to Silicon Valley, and we made a great pair together. And I don't think I could have picked a better partner. And I'm almost crying here talking about Pitch Johnson. He's really been my best friend ever since. Thank you.
Pitch, are you going to say something?
I grew up around Palo Alto. I went to high school there, I went to college there, and I went away to business school back east. I got a chance to sign up for executive training at Inland Steel Company. I took the chance and got the job. So the reason we ran into each other, we went to work for the same company and moved into company houses, practically next to each other. I think it's hard to think about being good friends and being business partners. In this case, it happened. And the short version is, if you went to work for Inland Steel, it wasn't easy to get a job. They had a CEO called Clarence Randall. And the guys that went to work for the company were called Randall's Rangers. And of course, Bill was one of Randall's Rangers in the marketing side. And I was an engineer by training, so I was on the production side. So we moved in to near each other, and Bill's fantastic wife, Phyllis, became friends with my wife, Kathy, and we developed a very solid personal relationship. When the chance came to form our own investment company, which we called the Venture Capital Company, we did that. And we certainly had the blessing of our spouses. It was about, so Draper and Johnson Investment Company was the name of the first thing we did together. And we made some good deals, actually. And I think that I brought technology, interest in technology to the deal, built up a much broader view of business. And so we had a company with both a technology guy and me and Bill, who was a businessman. So at some point, as Bill said, we formed our own company to make investments involving technology and youth. So Draper and Johnson Investment Company was the beginning of my independent business career. I meant to mention that I think of Mr. Maybach sitting in the middle. He said a lot about you got a bunch of capital to manage, and you don't just make money for managing the capital. You get such high returns, supposedly, that you make money. Thank you.
First of all, thank you, Pitch, for talking to us.